Mr. Hollywood, and I wish I wore darker pants because I'm a little intimidated. The man standing next to me, it's Robert Englund. Robert, how are we doing?
Mr. Krueger to you, Mr. Hollywood. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Chills
up and down his spine.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger.
It's the air conditioning.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. How are we doing today? You must come to a lot of conventions. We're at Fan Expo today in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around. I had a sci-fi show back in the very early 80s, so I actually attended the old Comic-Cons in San Diego when they were still just about comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started attending the cons again pretty actively after the great international success of Freddy vs. Jason. That was pretty mega hit, and it's fun. And I love, I've done 4 movies in Toronto, and I love this city. So any opportunity to come up to Toronto, especially in the summer.
How do people react when they meet Freddy Krueger for the first time? When they go face to face with you, do you get any weird reactions? People freak out?
Well, because of video and DVDs and cable TV and downloads and Netflix, I'm on about my 4th generation of fans, and my first generation of fans, are older now, and so it's something very personal when they run into me. I'll be in a bar or a restaurant or something, or even at one of the cons, but they always want to share stories about how an older brother tormented them with an old scratchy VHS tape, and that was sort of their baptism by fire, watching one of the early Nightmare films as a kid. So I get a lot of these really personal stories, and strangely, a lot of kids that come from single-parent families, they had a real bonding with a really cool dad or a really cool mom that would watch the movies with them, and I get people share that story with me a lot. So I think I was sort of part of a lot of damaged families back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents had to change their...
I was the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs.
Change their children's soiled bed sheets because of you. Did you ever, after the Freddy Krueger movies came out, and after that was a big hit, did you find it hard to, make friends, get dates? How did that work? Because I can't imagine taking you a steakhouse and sitting next to you and...
strangely enough, and I don't know whether it's Freddy or whether it's the glove or whether it's, I did Phantom of the Opera for a while, but I had a whole slew of goth girls. You remember the goth girl, the goth music and the goth girls, and I, they kind of go for the offbeat guys. I mean, if you ever seen any of the girls dating Marilyn Manson, those guys get laid.
Could be like a Freddy Krueger fetish out there. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I know, and now the girls have sort of taken the power back. The Survivor girls, and there's a lot of girls now that dress in the sweater like a mini skirt, and they wear clunky boots or stiletto heels, and they wear the fedora and the claw, and they put on, nails, pressed nails, and some of them wear a little bit of the makeup, and some of them don't. But they've sort of taken the character for themselves now and taken the power back. The Survivor girls.
I think you're right there. And by the way, my girlfriend will not let me buy striped sweaters because of you. So
no striped sweaters.
Yeah, thanks.
Those rugby shirts. They're not selling so well anymore.
Thanks a lot for that. Okay, final question here, Robert. We've been asking people who's got the best claws in the biz. Okay, is it Freddy Krueger or is it the Wolverine?
Well, we also have to include Edward Scissorhands. Johnny Depp was one of my first victims. He's out there doing topiaries somewhere in suburban America. I don't know. I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Wolverine. I'm not such a big fan of multi superhero films, but I love the character of Wolverine. And I actually just got the Japanese poster where it's done in that kind of it's Wolverine done in that kind of calligraphy style, that the Japanese use, and it's in my guest house. It's really cool. So I'll give Wolverine the vote. I'll give him the vote. I'll be charitable. But if he falls asleep, I'll kick his ass.
Robert Englund is here. I'm Mr. Hollywood, and I'm famous because I want to be.